Pancakes on the ceiling, syrup in the sky, loads of slide guitar wheels, making angels cry. Clavinet funky, sneaky as a cat in a heist. Turntable spin, DJ carving up ice. Echoes of the absurd, where nothing is clear. Distorted harmonica buzzing in your ear. Samples scatter like puzzle pieces in the breeze. Who knew chaos could feel like ease? Traffic cones dancing, wearing crowns of tin. Behind the house, pulling wolves from within. A funky clavinet groove, tiptoes on the scene. Lo-fi beats glitch, stitching dreams in between. And the speed slows down like honey in the cold. And it jumps a rabbit bold, stories unfold. Echoes of the absurd, when nothing is clear. Distorted harmonica buzzing in your ear. Samples scatter like puzzle pieces in the breeze. Who knew chaos could feel like ease? A carnival of nonsense, freak show delight. Distorted clocks melting in the pale moonlight. Blues guitar cries, aching, roaring pure. Absurdity's a sickness, this song is the cure.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark, dark, dark side of the podcast. And thank you. Podcast, your home for rational privacy news and observation. Leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original, the red-headed Bella. How you doing tonight, Belle?
You know what? I'm still recovering from last week. I mean, talking to so many people. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I never thought I would get to the point where I was like, I'm done. I'm talked out. I don't want to go back. None of the information is changing. We're getting the same answers, the same dodges, the same everything from everybody. And it was kind of funny because, and I'm sure I mentioned it, I even put out some shorts, is that for all of that tech innovation, for all of the the mind power, the mind trust that was existed in that massive convention hall, they're all still missing one at what I consider an absolutely key point to all of this tech, and it's still going to come down to consumer protection and consumer privacy. And it seems like we don't want it anymore. It seems like we just kind of skip all around that. And it really didn't matter what the product was, what the project, it didn't matter. They all had the exact same glaring flaw in everything about them. And it started to make me wonder a little bit, Belle. I was like, man, are we just this far off base? Or are we just the only ones who see it? Because it seems like it's, I mean, end of the day, it ends up being the same result. You built something cool and lost all your damn money. But I have a hard time believing that, because as soon as we branched out and started talking to people, consumers, not the booths, but the people that were manning the booths, they all gave the same concerns: privacy, protection, endlessly. I mean, that was it. That was completely it. So either we're wildly wrong, or we are so wildly right that even I can't even see it anymore. So it's going to be one of those two things, and we're gonna talk about it, guys. We'll get into this one tonight. I appreciate you if you're joining us. I know we haven't been live. We've been on the road, man. Look, there's no field of dreams out here in tech. It just doesn't work that way. You can't build it and they will come. If you want to see that for yourself, look at your crypto portfolio. All right, this is a bunch of, and eliminate 90% of the scams. Sure, we'll cut 90% out, but even the 10% that are left are still very not terribly successful and not getting any kind of market share, market penetration, because they do not go out and get it, because they don't know how to talk to people, because they don't want to get out there and hustle. And hustle is all we do now. That's it. We have it. It's there. A lot of you guys are using it. And for us to be successful, we have to go out and market from a grassroots level. We have to get out there. And it works for us because we both like it so much, but it's tiring. I'll tell you what, man, it gets exhausting after a while, saying the same thing over and over and over, and trying to be as excited about it this time that you're saying it as it was, the 10,000 time before that you said it. So it's it's a skill set. I understand why marketers and booth people and all that get paid so much, because, man, that gets exhausting after a while. But yes.
And you know what? You know what the other interesting part is, what people don't understand? When you are doing events like that, it is a lot more strenuous than being on stage doing a play. You are on for hours at a time. And even though even though the people you're talking to may be challenging you on what you're saying and refusing to change, you still have to walk away and keep playing your part.
Well, and that's the funny part. I actually think what we do is a little bit more strenuous, because we are under fire from the audience the entire time. Your actor, your guy doing the play, he's not getting shit from the audience. We are getting, They're right in our face. They're right coming back, poking us in the chest, saying, you got to do that. What about this? What about this? What about this? So every single time we talk to somebody is a Q&A session. Every single time. Now, I'd love to be able to just get up there, take the stage, hold the microphone, wear a turtleneck, do the Steve Jobs turtleneck thing, and just get out there and say my piece and have everybody applaud. I'd love to be able to do that, but we're not there. So to get there, that means that we have to open ourselves up, expose ourselves to the Q&A that is just constant for what we do. And I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, it gets tiring. It gets really, really exhausting. But ultimately, it's for a good cause. It's what I consider the best cause, the most important cause, is what we're doing out of everything else that I saw up there. And I mean, I loved it. It was all AI. It was I'm sorry, guys. I'm coming off from a little bit of a cold. And if I flip to Bell real quick, it's because I'm about to sneeze. So just I don't think anybody wants to see that. But yeah, I mean, some of the AI and the stuff that we saw out there, while neat, and it's really, really good for the crowds, was, to me personally, horrifying. I mean, how many of those booths did we walk by that had those big-ass monitors, this size monitor, that was scanning out and highlighting and bracketing every single human who was walking through them? We're talking 200 or 300 people walking at the same time, and literally pasting out each one with little bars telling you about this human as they're just walking by. They don't even know they're on camera, but they're on camera. And all of the information that they're gathering on that human at that time, who it is, where they're going, what direction, what time they were there, what did they do when they were in this camera's eye, all of that. And the fact that they're making zero effort to actually protect that data is horrifying to me. I mean, all the way down. And for what it's worth, it should be horrifying to you too, because we're seeing exactly, up till now, I've always had a pretty good idea what they were doing, but seeing it with my own two eyes. And I was like, oh my God, the stuff that's
creepy.
The information that they're going to give up on you is horrifying. You think data breaches were bad before with selfies and images and stuff like that? These data breaches will be biblical, absolutely biblical, and they will occur. They will occur. I don't know how you come back from that. You cannot continue to just bake privacy and security as an afterthought or a bolt-on after you've launched, after MVP is out there, and then slap it on there as a bolt-on. You just can't do that. And it just seems like nobody's putting any kind of real effort into protecting the consumer. And really, that's what it's about. It's nice. Look, companies protect their IP. They take tons and tons of, they put lots of money and lots of effort into protecting their intellectual protocols. But they put next to no effort into protecting their consumers. And for me, the breakdown in trust should be enough to bankrupt most of these places. But it's like they don't even consider what you're actually going to do to these consumers that you have spent all your blood, sweat, and tears to gather every single bit of information about them. And then when the breach happens, you walk away. Your corporation walks away. Your IP was protected. And all that means is that you get to live to do it again. But all of the consumers that you exposed during this, what about them? Now, I asked these questions. You were there. Jason was there. Aaron was there. The kid was there. And I asked these questions. And what were the answers that we got? What did we get?
Either I don't know, or there's nothing else out there, or the excuses went on and on. People don't know what they don't know.
And that's exactly right. And the painful part for me is that they think just because they hit any kind of compliance whatsoever, that's the ceiling. That's not the ceiling. The base is the floor. All right. The ceiling is what you do to go beyond the base regulations, because you're literally asking government to say, what do we need to do to protect consumer data? If government knew, government would have built it. But they didn't, because they don't build anything. All they do is regulate stuff. So that should be the absolute floor, the rock bottom stuff that we have to do. And now let's make it better. But it just doesn't seem like that's the case out there. At least that was my takeaway, Belle. What was yours?
Yeah. Okay. So the TV screens using AI to pull images from the cameras for the crowd and work on them. That's freaking creepy. Is this the plot line of Cabin in the Woods 3 or what?
How about
it's creepy.
How about all the drones that can gather all of this information from 1,000 feet up? What about that? Because
still creepy.
Everything out there was AI. It was drones. It was flying vehicles. It was cameras. It was surveillance. It was
a Bitcoin water heater.
It was a Bitcoin water heater, which, by the way, that was the stupidest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. I understand it took over crypto Twitter for a while. Everybody was talking about, oh, look at that. I sent you guys the pictures. We were there. We were talking to the poor girl in the bathtub. And Erin, I was going to take her picture. And, oh, you better ask her. I was like, sure, I'll ask her. Do you mind if I take your picture? And she said, you know what? 10,000 people already have. Sure, take my picture. They put this poor girl in a tub. You saw the photos. They're on the podcast Discord, holding a like a handheld thing.
Handheld wand.
And
like
it was just
like the kind that attaches to your shower head at home.
Yeah, and that poor girl was in there bathing 10 hours a day for 4 days in a row. That's it. That's all. She was going there and pour water in herself. She couldn't answer questions. I asked her, what do you know about this thing? She said, I don't know anything about this. She literally had no idea. It was just a pretty girl they stuck in a tub. And if there's anything more crypto than that, I don't know what it is. But it was there at CES. Crypto Twitter picked up on it. Everyone's excited. And all we were doing was laughing. I literally, me and Belle saw it, and I went and tagged Aaron. I was like, dude, come look at this. Come look at this. And he comes over, and I said, look what it is. And I was like, I got nothing. I'm not really one to be speechless. I'm not supposed to be speechless. I'm supposed to be able to talk and talk. But that one, I was just like, I got nothing. I got nothing.
It's a Bitcoin miner enclosed in a water heater. And okay, surface level, that might seem like a great idea. But number one, I couldn't breathe. I was doubled over laughing.
Yeah, she was not having a good time of that, man.
I had to walk away so I could double over, and just lose it laughing. But then up behind me comes Scott and Aaron, and they're those two are sitting there going, okay, but wouldn't this be a problem? This and this, and what are they going to do in this case? And it's just like,
yeah, I think we missed.
Wow,
I think
guys.
Aaron and I both missed the point of the booth. The point of the booth was a pretty girl in a bikini showering. That's what it was. That's all it was, Belle. That's exactly what it was. I have pictures. Yeah, but me and Aaron are sitting there picking it apart. We're like, yeah, but what if this and this and this? Yeah, we completely missed the point of that. Sometimes you got no words, man. There are certain things that the pet rock. All right, it's neat. It's shtick, and then off you go. But I want to know what kind of funding they have, because a booth at CES, main floor booth like that, and they had a lot of square footage. That ain't cheap. And I'm like, who is sponsoring this? Who funded this? And who thought it was a good idea? And at the end of the day, I went and asked the guy. I talked to the booth dudes. I got their card, and I said, all right, how much is it going to cost? When can I buy one? And they didn't give me a price, and they didn't give me a when. They didn't. Okay, all right, let me. I'm going to go big screen for this, but I want to make sure. They wouldn't give me a price, and they wouldn't give me a when. So it kind of makes me wonder, what would you say you do here? Because if you were to ask me, when can I have Sigea Cloud Labs, I say it's right this very second. If you ask me how much it's going to cost, I'm going to say this is what it costs. Go, enjoy your privacy. But it is so crypto. Everything about that is so crypto. It was a little bit repulsive to me. Not the poor girl in the tub. I'm sure they're paying her $1,000 a day to sit there. Belle would stand in the goddamn tub with the showering for $1,000 a day. I'd do it. If they want to see, if you want to see a 54-year-old guy showering, I'm more than happy to do that, Belle.
I would need more than just the cash to do that, and here's why.
All right.
And this is this may sound like a vanity thing, but it's not. Number one, okay, yeah, you'd have to bump that pay rate up. Number two, for the love of God, you've got me, standing in running water all day. You better make sure I have a lot of moisturizer for when I'm done.
You're going to get pruny. You're going to get very pruny. Now,
and your skin's going to dry out from being in the water that long.
Now, I will give you that. As far as visibility and optics, it has us talking about it. And it had Crypto Twitter talking about it for, 2-3 days?
Yeah.
A couple days. It had Crypto Twitter talking about it. At the end of the day, it's not the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And it wasn't even the stupidest thing I've seen at CES. I saw some other things that were like, you got to be kidding me. But it did get people talking about it. Now, is this something that's going to take over the world? No, not a chance.
No.
Is that going to get people taking over the world? You know what? I have enough problem with a water heater. Now my water heater failed because I lost RAM. Or because my motherboard burned up. Now I don't have water. And how much is that to replace? I just here's what I expect out of my hot water tank. I turn on the hot and water comes out that is hot. That's it. I mean, it's a very, very simple binary relationship. Make hot water come out. I don't need additional utility out of my water heater. That's like I don't want to have a long conversation with my washing machine. I just want it to wash the damn clothes. I don't need a lot of AI baked in. By the way, AI washing and washer and dryers. I saw them over in the deep home consumer part. I don't need to have a conversation with my washing machine. I don't think we'd have a lot to say to each other unless he's going to get up there and say, dude, your streaks are fucking epic this week. Thank you. And I appreciate you pointing that out. Now, what I'd like you to do is wash them. Just wash the clothes. I don't need anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm off. Maybe this is what it takes, Belle. Maybe this is the new direction that the world's going, is that I need to be able to have a conversation with my fucking toaster to get toast. I mean, I'm old school, Belle. Call it that. Maybe I'm just very, very old school. But, overall, there was some neat stuff. I was more horrified than inspired. I'm just going to kind of leave it there. I was a little bit more horrified than inspired.
There were a few exceptions. And I mean, we still, in spite of, that entire building, that first building was half AI and half transportation stuff. That one was horrifying. The second building was home goods and more AI integrated stuff.
Yeah, and one that I watched, it showed up over on the Twitter, and I wish we would have been in there. This was actually pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of a movie called The Fifth Element. It was one of Bruce Willis's best movies. I know, Die Hard and then Fifth Element. I'm just going to kind of leave it there. But they had nails, press-on fingernails, and you could put them up in the little machine, and you can make them change colors and put designs on them and shit like that. And I saw that in the movie The Fifth Element. And I'm glad that kind of sci-fi stuff is starting to show up at CES. We walked right by the beauty supplies. Literally, we walked right by the booth that had these. And I was like, Belle, you want to go look at beauty stuff? She said, no, fuck that. I don't want to look at all that shit. We could have seen it. I could have bought you a set. You could have them on your fingers right now, and you could literally change your damn finger. I'm not going to do it. I'm a boy. I don't do that.
That's a lot of effort.
But
see, high maintenance.
You didn't understand it. It's not a lot of effort. All you have to do is select your color and go boop, 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 and then you got all the different colors up there and little designs and shit like that. It was actually pretty impressive. I thought that was pretty cool. And that's the kind of stuff I like to see at a consumer, electronics show, because that is consumer driven and it is an electronic device. That's what I'd like to see there. Not the Bitcoin water heater. I didn't care about that. I felt sorry for the girl. That's it. That was my whole takeaway from that booth, is I felt sorry for that little girl. She was so pruny. I mean, you had to see it. She was just so pruny. She was better. And we didn't get to that until, about 3:30 in the afternoon. I mean, it was later. Yeah, because it was in like the South Hall or something like that. And it was all the way in the back. So we didn't get to that till about 3:30 or 4. We were wrapping up. We were all smoked. And then we run into that. So I do feel sorry. I am sorry for the Bitcoin water heater folks if we seemed a little bit short. We'd already walked like 25,000 steps by the time we got to that thing. And we're crypto people. So, yeah, we're probably going to be giving this a harder look than anybody else is. So anyway, guys, look, I have a full monologue that I'd like to read, and this one is literally they don't know what they don't know, and they either don't know or they don't care. It's one of those two things. But I am going to kick this out here in the very next segment. Again, thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back today. We're back. All right. We're back for at least a little bit, and we're going to be kicking all of this stuff out. Lots of stuff is happening with Sigea Cloud right now, man. We are incredibly excited with what is happening with Sigea Cloud, and our entire world changed. I mean, it is 180 degrees from where it was the last time that we were on. That's how fast things change in tech. And of course, I'd love to tell you guys all about it. Why does it matter? Because it's going to affect Jackal, and I know you guys are still crypto people deep down. So I want to share all this stuff with you. But before that, I got to do my monologue. And my monologue, which is in second segment, Belle. You don't monologue in second segment. You monologue in first. But Belle's going to get any questions or comments. I'm going to queue up another song. These are all mine, if you guys didn't know. I've started becoming very, what is it, 420 friendly? What's the term for people who smoke the pot? What is that? What do you call that one? It's 420 friendly or whatever they put out on the little dating apps.
You're asking me?
Well, I
mean,
don't
come
know.
on.
I know you can't. You're allergic. But I take like 10 minutes before I go and lay down at night. It's a sleep aid for me. I'm not going to apologize for it. Fuck yourself. And I just write. I write stuff. I've been writing entire life in case I start writing whatever comes out of my head. And whatever comes out of my head, and I end up transforming into AI-generated songs. So if the lyrics sound ridiculous, it's because I was so high when I wrote them. But they turned out pretty good. So any song that you hear over the next couple weeks is going to be one of mine. I was very high when I wrote it, and I'm not going to apologize for that. But we still like to talk with our audience, not at our audience. So if you could, Belle, while I cue up the next song, if we have any comments, questions, concerns, or observations, please get them out, and I will cue up another song, and then we'll get to the rest of the show. Go, Belle.
All right. So first comment coming in from Monero Dinero. Had to be Cosmoverse and CryptoCito funding the girl in the tub.
I would think that you're not far off, dude. I don't think you're too terribly far off on that.
I mean, it's valid.
Yeah.
It's a valid point. All right, so next one coming in from Mistress Mel. Love the slippers.
You know what? Thank you very much for that, Mel. I typically don't buy any of my own attire. I'm deep down, I am a very, very cheap prick, and I don't like to spend money on things that are not business related. I'm a huge fan of grinding whatever the mill requires to make the business move forward. I have no problem with signing big POs if it makes the business move forward. But for something for me personally, I have a real hard time spending money. I am down to 171 pounds. I'm still deep in keto, and none of my clothes fit. This clearly does not fit. But I bought them and I paid for them, and if there's still usage in them, I'm going to continue to use them. What I'm saying is I'm a cheap prick and I don't really care what I look like. But I have associates and friends and confidants that throw me things on occasion, and in this case, it's these puffy bear claw slippers. I don't care what kind of bad day you're having, but if it's cold out and you come home and you slip on big old puffy bear claw slippers, your day just gets a little bit better. And sometimes that's really all it takes, man. That's really all it takes. You got to find joy where you can. The world's hard right now. Our business is tough. The entire world is against us. And if that's all it takes to bring me a little bit of happiness is puffy bear claw slippers, and she hooked me up. So thank you for that, Belle. Go ahead, Belle.
All right, so next one coming in from Lintz93, Empire Rise.
Empire. I'll even go big screen for that. Still having trouble, bro. Look, man, I haven't kicked out AMP videos for a while. I haven't been kicking out any videos, man. I've been busy. We're out there hustling. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take one more shot. And Aaron or Braden, if you guys are on, put this not at the very top of your list, but just underneath it. Let's integrate Flexa. Just like that, man. Look, they have an SDK. Shouldn't be much for us to push it in. Bell. Shouldn't be much for us to do it, assuming that they did exactly what they said they would do. Now, we tried this months ago, but we couldn't get them to return an email. For us to integrate the SDK, they have to give us a code. And thus far, we have not been able to get the code. But we're going to try. All right? We're going to try just so I can say we did it. And now let's see how many people are willing to spend crypto. Look, man, I think I'm the last man standing that even mentions AMP. Everybody else they're all grifters, bro. They're hustlers, all right? They're here. They're not for the tech. They're here for the views. And that is pretty much universal of all of crypto reporting out here. We've never been about the views. We care. Well, I mean, I care. I have lots of views and lots of people on the live stream. But We're here for the tech and for the ethos and all that other good stuff. And at the end of the day, AMP and Flexa still kind of represents that. If we can do it easily, because we can hustle for them, they'll never hustle for us. They will never go out and say, look, we've integrated into the Sigea Cloud app. If privacy is important to you, and considering that you're following AMP, the FlexiPay rail, which is all about private payments, it's a natural fit and it's a perfect synergy. They will never put that out. It will never happen. It will never happen. But we're going to try, and we'll try one more time. I give you my word. I will give you the updates. I will let you know how it goes. Belle, is that about as fair as I can be with that?
That's absolutely as fair as you can be with that.
All right.
I mean, it's not our fault if they don't respond.
So there you go, bro. And if you want to go on their Reddit and whatever else, I'm banned from the Discord, the Reddit, the everything, because I asked, what would you say you do? And you can't do that. But yeah, if you guys, if you want to mention it, let's see if we get any action on it. Anyway, Belle, one more, and then we're going to go ahead and take a break, and then I'll monologue. Go.
All right. So Crypto Sailor on X. Great work, guys.
I appreciate that, brother. That's it. Okay, we can do one more if there is one.
Okay, so Channel Dad, at least you return emails.
Sometimes. I have a guy now. His name is Jason Anderson. You know what? I doxed you, bro. I don't care. My name is Scott Pottigill. All right. If you wanna be a member of the band, you're gonna be out there. All right. We all know the name of everybody that's in Aerosmith. So welcome to the show. But I have a guy that'll do it, and you know what? He will do it so professionally. And I've had him do this on my behalf a couple of times. He will send you he will send you a War and Peace email that says absolutely nothing, but it says it in such a professional way that you have no idea that it said nothing. And if you take out everything that was meaningless or diatribe or anything like that, you realize at the end of the day it said hi and thanks. That's it. That's a gift. I'm going to give him a round of applause for that. Everybody needs one of those, Belle. Everybody needs one of those. All right. Anyway, guys, going to play a song, going to come back, going to monologue. Please, questions, comments, concerns, observations, get them in. If you want to know how we are going to affect Jackal Protocol, get the questions in. I'd love to answer them. If you would like to know how we could affect AMP or Flexa, get them in. I'd love to answer them. But I promise you, the more you talk, the better this stream is. We were going to be right back here on the podcast on the KPOD network, guys, right after this.
Yeah. Shadows drip on asphalt, a melting clock parade. Fried egg moon yolk spilled across the shade. Cardboard castles, duct tape flags they wave. Pigeons gossip secrets, rooftop masquerade. Dumpster fire symphony, crackle in the night. Chaos humming harmony, flicker in the light. Sing me something broken, jagged out of tune. Dumpster fire symphony, high beneath the moon. Clavinet sneaks in funky grooves on the creek. Blue slide guitar bottleneck starts to weave. On octave buzzes, distorted honeybees. Turntable scratching, time sliced at the knees. Echoes of the surreal, sampled and spun. Absurdist collage, but the song ain't done. Dumpster fire symphony, crack dragging its feet. Speed it up, jagged edges, rhythm skips the beat. Cartoon clouds argue, sky painted in chalk. Words tripping over themselves, surrealist talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Empire, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. How high was I whenever I wrote that? Did you listen to that? You know what? I got a connection. Not really a connection. Crypto's a small world. Believe it or not, it really is a small world, and I have a hookup over on the Corium network. I've always had a real soft spot for Corium. They did it right, man, but they're getting crushed under their own overhead, just like everybody else, virtually everybody else out here that effectively sells tokens to fund development. But nobody ever really asks the questions: what are you developing? What is and what is the end game for what you are developing? It's great if you create a solution to a problem that only you can see, and I admire that. But is it a marketable, monetizable problem? That's really where it always comes down to. And this is, and Bella and I have shot ourselves in the foot in this over years and years. But great guy, absolutely love. You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about Mac. Yeah, he says he knows two things, man. He says he knows Morovia and grass. That's what he knows. And I can attest, if you listen to that last song, that, yeah, he does know grass. He does know that. Yeah, so that's what comes out after you hook up with Mac. I'm looking forward to meeting him over there in Nairobi one of these days. Hey, man, you know what? Sigea is international. We're borderless. We can go anywhere, and I'd love to go to Nairobi and pitch it. I'd be okay with that, Belle. What do you think? It's not a good spend, but I would certainly be okay with that.
I think we need to wait on a little more money to come into the company bank accounts before that one gets planned.
I know. All we need is consumers, and then we can kind of push it anywhere. But yeah, that's what comes out of it. So, all right.
And one thing I picked up on from CES.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of new companies with brand new stuff, but it's shocking how many of them, don't have a real plan either for how to grow.
No. They make the product. They create a solution for a problem that people really don't care about. And from a simple business standpoint, that's not a good starting place. The idea is that you want to identify a problem and solve it and then push on out there. And for what it's worth, and I get it, man. I'm bashing the Bitcoin water heater. I don't think heating my water has ever really been a problem. I mean, it just seems like the solution is already in place. We've been using this for a long time, and we're all kind of okay with it. And if you go to take a shower after the show, which you probably should, after listening to me, you need to clean yourself, all right? Because damn. But it's just not a big concern for you. It's not a huge, oh my God, I need to mine Bitcoin while I'm showering. I just don't think that is way up top for a lot of people on their list, Belle. I mean, I could be off. I don't know.
I mean, that's supposed to be a home-sized water heater, but good Lord, can you imagine the power bill? Because that Bitcoin miner is always going to be running.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even get into that. We didn't even get into the specs. What's my electric bill going to go? because these things are power hogs, and that's kind of my wheelhouse.
Your at-home water heater, as it stands now, okay, it gets so hot, it shuts off for a little while, then it kicks back on to keep that water warm. I mean,
I'm
what were
just
they
looking
thinking?
I'm looking at my outdoor meter going like this, and then I got to heat the water, and all of a sudden it's going zzz, 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 zzz. It's like, fuck, man, how much does hot water cost? Because it just went up in price. But maybe you hit the lottery. You know, maybe you're that solo miner that mined an entire Bitcoin. Maybe you are. You know, it happens. It happens. They just had one. It's been all over Twitter. All right, guys. So I'm going to try something.
Time Slayer, if you win the lottery, and I know you're playing, you'd better not.
You better not buy a Bitcoin miner here. All right. I'm putting a personal message out to Jason. I'm going to hit record on this, bro. All right. I'm a little bit under the weather. I have been away from alcohol, so I'm a little bit in the bag already, and I'm not sure I'm going to get through this. But I'm going to soldier through, because as a broadcast professional, with my pinky in the air, as a broadcast professional, this is what's expected of me. I'm going to do my very best, and I count on you to edit correctly. All right? So fix it up. Let me get this tuned up, and we're going to see if I can even get through it. Belle, if you laugh, I will brick this. All right? And you know I hear you, so don't laugh, okay? And we are going to go live in 3 and 2 in where, if I can find record. There it is. 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's live stream on the dark side of the podcast. I'm your host, Scott, coming to you from the studio. And tonight, I want to deep dive into something that's been burning in my mind ever since we wrapped up CSE 2026. If you're not familiar, CSE is this massive gathering of the brightest minds in computer science, machine learning, engineering, AI breakthroughs, distributed systems, you name it. And it was electric. We were there. The entire Sigea Cloud team was there, on the floor, on the ground, talking to virtually everyone. Researchers pushing the boundaries of intelligent systems. Innovators rolling out next-gen tools. Startups demoing mind-blowing applications, and big players showcasing how they're reshaping industries with advanced computation. The energy was off the chart, and it really was. Hall after hall filled with talks on large-scale machine learning, theoretical foundations meeting real-world deployment, synergies across disciplines that could genuinely change how we live and how we work. And the tech, stunning. We are talking AI that's more intuitive than ever. Computational models handling trillions of parameters in real time. Edge-to-cloud integrations that make latency a thing of the past. Quantum-resistant experiments are starting to peek through. And workflows that automate what used to take teams months. It's a kind of forward momentum that gets you genuinely excited about the future. But here's the thing, guys. And this is what I kept coming back to in every conversation, every booth, every panel. For all of this incredible innovation flooding the floor, there was one glaring, almost deafening silence. Cloud and data privacy. Little to no real thought, no meaningful effort, barely a whisper about how we're actually protecting the data that's fueling all of this magic. They don't know what they don't know. Or worse, and this is me personally, guys, they know, but they don't care enough to prioritize it. Let me be clear. This isn't just some abstract, nice-to-have concern for privacy nerds. This is the core to whether the future we're building is sustainable, trustworthy, and truly beneficial. We are pouring oceans of data into these systems. Company intellectual property, proprietary algorithms, trade secrets that represent years of research and development. But it's bigger than corporate IP. This is consumer privacy. Your health records and AI-driven diagnostics, your financial patterns in predictive analytics, your location and behavior data, feeding personalized everything. Your children's online interactions, shaping recommendation engines. Think about that. All of it flowing into clouds that are, very frankly, often treated as black boxes where security is an afterthought and privacy is simply a checkbox. At CSE 2026, I asked dozens of founders, engineers, and executives point blank. My whole team was there. They saw it. What's your plan for sovereign data handling? How are you ensuring end-to-end encryption that the provider can't access? What about zero-knowledge proofs for sensitive computations? How do you prevent insider threats or accidental leaks in multi-tenant environments? This is what we do. And the answers ranged from awkward pauses to vague nods about, quote, we use industry standard encryption, or our compliance team handles that. Industry standard? In 2026, which just started, with breaches making headlines weekly and regulations like updated GDPR equivalents tightening everywhere, industry standard often means good enough until it's not. And let's talk about the shared responsibility model that's supposed to save us. Cloud providers secure their infrastructure, and that's great. But everything from your configurations to access controls to data classification, that's on you. That's on you. Yet the innovators that we spoke to are heads down on features, scale, and speed to market. Privacy and security teams, under-resourced or bolted on later, and that is unacceptable. Misconfigurations still cause the majority of incidents. If you want to talk to our lead devs, I'll bring them on the damn show. Human error, even in 2026, remains the top culprit. And with multi-cloud and hybrid setups exploding for resilience against outages or geopolitical risks, the attack surface just keeps growing. This blind spot isn't malice, it's momentum. Are you there, new type? Are you listening? Let me say that again, just for you, brother. This isn't malice, it's momentum. The race to innovate is so fierce that privacy gets deprioritized. We'll fix it in post, they say. How do I know? Because they said it to me over and over and over. But the data, once leaked, it doesn't go back in the bottle. Company IP stolen means competitors leapfrog you overnight. Consumer data exposed means trust shattered. Lawsuits, regulatory hammers, and real human harm. That's me. That's Bell. That's you. Identity theft, targeted scams, discrimination baked into algorithms. Now, that's exactly why we built Sigea Cloud. We built it from the ground up with privacy and security as non-negotiable foundations. They're not add-ons. We're not just another cloud provider chasing the same hyperscaler playbook. It's designed for a world where data sovereignty matters, where you control who sees what end to end. Think distributed storage that keeps your data private by default. Zero trust architecture that assumes breach. We assume breach. Encryption that even we can't access. And tools that make compliance feel effortless instead of painful. And we're talking features. I know this sounds like an infomercial. Don't want to listen? Tune out. But we're talking features like private distributed architectures that avoid single points of failure or centralized honeypots for attackers, consumer-grade privacy for everyday users, your phone, your files, your life, without sacrificing performance. This is what we've been trying to do for years. Enterprise-grade controls for companies that can't afford another headline breach. And crucially, transparency. No hidden backdoors. No trust us in the fine print. Because in 2026, trust isn't given. It's earned through verifiable design. Now, I left CSE inspired by the tech, but deeply, deeply mortified about the trajectory. If we keep building skyscrapers of innovation on sound foundations of privacy neglect, the whole thing risks collapsing under the weight of the next big breach, or the thing that causes me a lot more fear, Bill, the next regulation wave. We cannot afford that they don't know what they don't know anymore. The knowledge is out there. The tools exist. Our very solution provides both cutting-edge performance and ironclad privacy. So, to kind of wrap this up, I'm calling on the builders, the thinkers, the leaders in this space. Prioritize privacy now. Bake it in from day one. You don't want to use us? Fine. Compete with us. Innovation is great for consumers. Competition is great for innovation. Talk about it openly. Demand better. Because the future that we're excited about, it only stays bright if the data powering it stays secure and stays private. I hope it resonates with you. I got more. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it right here, Bill. I got more, but I think I made my point. Demand better. That's it. That's how I'm going to end it. Simply demand better. Thanks for watching. Oh, I ain't going anywhere, Belle. I just ended the video. Did you like that?
I know.
You know what? I believe
that was good.
I believe every goddamn word. The fact, and one of my big takeaways on this, and literally the reason that I'm wearing this particular T-shirt, tech does not care about consumers. They need consumers. They don't exist without consumers. And the I don't even know if you call it irony here. It's borderline insulting. The fact that tech doesn't exist without consumers, but they don't even begin to pay lip service to protecting said consumers.
It's baffling.
I don't even know how.
It's baffling.
I don't even know how to attack that. I don't even know how to message that. The fact that we rely so heavily on this tech, our entire worlds revolve around it. You get up in the morning, first thing you do is get your phone, go to the potty, and check your phone for message and all that other stuff. We rely so heavily on tech, but all they've proven over and over and over is that they do not care about your personal privacy, your personal data. It means nothing to them. They go out of their way to harvest it. The only way that they reason that they would ever protect it is so that they're the only ones who are monetizing it, not everybody else. And somehow this has become completely acceptable. Everybody's cool with it. Everyone's like, yeah, no, it's just how it is. It doesn't have to be like this. It's like this
No.
because you're okay with it. Because you say, fuck it, I'll use Meta. It's hell with it. I love X because I love all of this stuff. And you're okay with just giving it all away. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's kind of a pain point with me. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm gonna make a point here quick. Sigea Cloud would not look or feel like it does right now without you guys demanding better from us constantly. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about.
But until the great wide world, until it starts hitting them in the pocketbook, they ain't gonna give a shit. They're not gonna care. They're not. Big tech, fucking, your Meta, your Facebook, Meta. That is the stupidest thing ever, by the way. Your Meta, your Facebook, all these people, they ain't gonna care. They're not gonna care until it hits them in the pocketbook. And until it hits them in the pocketbook, why would they bother? Why would they bother?
I think more people are becoming aware of not knowing what they need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, that is working in our favor. According to that train of thought, we are right on time. We're not insanely early. We're not too late.
Oh, no. Considering that there are now, as of January 1st, that there are now 19 states that are demanding greater accountability from tech. I like to think that we are exactly on time. We were early 2 years ago, but right now we're right on time. And fortunately, we have a product that's out there that anybody can use. So it kind of changes things up a little bit. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, the only thing we can do is continue to push forward and see how many other people like what we have to offer, see how many problems we can solve. I mean, we're up to 5 different things, 6 different things on the roadmap that we've got internally.
Yeah. Well, one of them I know is going to make all the Jackal people really, really happy. And I'm wearing the shirt right now. Yeah, it come on, man. It's low-hanging fruit, Bell. I like to pluck low-hanging fruit. Why do I need a goddamn ladder to get up there when the low shit is right there? Yeah, we're gonna be all right. Anyway, Bell, do we have any questions, comments, concerns, or observations? You know I like to talk with the audience.
We've got just a couple.
All right, go ahead.
2 of them come from your dad. So
okay.
All right. So, Channel Dad, is crypto still alive and doing anything for anybody?
Nope. No, there's a fundamental. Go ahead, Bell. You go first, and then I'll go ahead and pop your balloon. But you go ahead and answer that.
There is a difference between crypto and blockchain tech. We're built using blockchain tech. We are going out and we are doing a lot of things for a lot of people. Like Shiba Inu is doing nothing for nobody.
No, for the most part, as always, as often happens in these quick to rise, quick to fall type of tech innovations, bubbles, Dad, they're called bubbles. You've been through piles of them. They always attract the same kind of person that is looking for max extraction with minimum effort. And yeah, we all kind of been through it. Now, Bell and I saw the opportunity of utilizing blockchain technology, but we seem to be the only people out here. Now, the good news about this, Dad, do you remember the .com? I'm sure you do. It wasn't that goddamn long ago, and you were still had most of your faculties back then. The rise and fall of all of the .com, and I'd like to point out pets.com is probably the best. That thing was a multi-billion-dollar IPO at one time, and now it's worth absolute dust. You could literally go out and buy the goddamn pets.com domain right now. But quite a few powerhouses came out of that, and that was the people who realized that the proper application of the technology is where it leads 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. Amazon, Dell Computers, Microsoft, Facebook, all of these things. So We still believe that we're kind of leading the charge on this because we have Web 2 and real world applications. Technology for crypto, for the most part, has no real world applications because they weren't designed for it. They were designed to get people to buy the token, not to actually use the product, because there is no product. We are product. So yeah, it's a little hard right now, but we kind of know how this is going to work out. So we're not really concerned about it. So is crypto dead? Most of it is. Bitcoin is always going to be Bitcoin, and it's always going to be worth effectively nothing. It's worth what somebody will give you for it, not because it actually does anything. Do you understand that? Do you understand that very, very simple reference? It's only worth what somebody will give you for it, not because it does anything. And that's kind of Bitcoin. So I hope that answered the question, Belle. Go ahead, carry on.
All right, channel dad again. Your daddy does not drink, but then again, I eat, so I'm old and fat. You sound just like your son there.
I remember you at the bowling alley when I was a very young podcaster with your Seagram 7 and 7-Up. I remember that was your drink, Seagram 7 and 7-Up. And yeah, that was it. That was it, Bell. Go, give me a 7-7. That was his whole thing. That was it. And I remember hearing stories from Uncle Al, and I'll never forget this one, of Channel Dad, a young Channel Dad back in his cups, back in the day, getting cut off at a bar in Cave Creek, Arizona, and getting up there on that said bar and saying, if I ain't getting a drink, no one's getting a fucking drink here. Do you remember that, Dad? And they threw you in the trunk? Uncle Al told me that story. I believe that occurred because he was very, very specific with a lot of detail. They locked him in a trunk of a car. So, because he was a different Channel Dad back then than he was now. It's kind of funny. Anyway, carry on, Belle.
I mean, again, what is it with you and your dear father?
I think I'm adopted. I don't even think I'm his son. I know my brother is, but I'm not sure if I am. I think I'm adopted. He just never told me. Am I adopted, Dad? Do you want to blow me apart right here at 54 years old and live and just tell me, you're adopted, I never loved you? Is that what's going to come out next? That'd be a great comment, by the way. That would be funny.
Hey, Scott, I hate to burst your bubble there, but there are too many genetic markers between you and your father for you to not be related to him. I am so sorry. I'm sure had Mistress Mel met your dad by this point, she would absolutely agree.
Yeah, could be. I don't know. We got anything left, Belle, or can we go ahead and wrap it?
All right. So G. Torres, regarding the monologue done in the second half, that was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Should I hit the round of applause? I'll hit the round of applause for myself. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Mel chiming in with, it was amazing.
Thank you. I'll give Mel a different one. Whichever one do I got? I only got
lick my balls. Yeah, say that all the time.
I only got 2 sound effects on here. I can't keep playing the same applause. That's what I got, Belle. It's Rick and Morty. They're a thing.
I know.
Do you know what they are? They are an internet. Belle, did you know that? Did you know they're an internet?
Oh, there's my sweet summer child. There is so much you've got to learn.
Well, they're an internet. I'm a big fan. Go ahead, Belle.
All right, so Channel Dad, am I making any money?
Nope.
And then regarding stocks during the .com, I own a lot of them. Those made me money.
Yeah, now they're all gone. They're all gone. Welcome to it. Is that it, Belle? Can we go ahead and wrap this?
New type. Where did you guys stay in Vegas?
We stayed at the D. We are very, very regulars of Fremont Street. Everything's close, bro. It's all right there. You got street performers. You got the the Vegas showgirls. A couple of those were big girls, man. I'm talking like that's a big ass. That would have never made the stage up there. But it's okay on Fremont Street, and I'm okay with it. So, yeah, we like to stay. Everything's nice and close, right? All the way from the Palace down to Slottopia, all the way down on the end of the street. Everything's nice and close, and the hosts are friendly. Everybody's real cool down there. $20 will get you damn near anything. So we tend to stay we tend to stay down on Fremont Street. I'm not a fan of the Strip. I like going up there for all the good shows are on the Strip and stuff like that. But man, it's like a 40-minute walk to get from point A to point B. I don't want to put in that much work, to get from the Excalibur down to Caesars. I don't want to walk that goddamn far, and I'm not going to take an Uber for everything. So yeah, we stayed at the D. We'll be staying at the D the next time. We may be going to AVN. I don't know yet. We're still kicking that over. And yeah. So anyway, I know that answered the question. Unless Belle has anything to add to it. Go ahead, Belle.
All right. So new type. Are you guys going back to Vegas in April for Bitcoin conference?
I would probably say no. We are not a crypto project. We are a project that happens to use crypto, but we have nothing to sell you except privacy. We have nothing to sell you except data sovereignty. And what we've discovered over the years and years that we've been doing this is that people don't care. What they care about is token go up, and that's it. They don't, this entire fucking space needs an enema, because that is it. That's the only thing that drives it. Douchebags are still out here talking endlessly about chasing the next narrative. You're chasing the next narrative so it pumps your token, not because it matters. And when are you guys going to get your collective heads out of your collective asses that it's time for something better? I don't understand it anymore. I am so disconnected from the entire crypto space that I literally can't even talk to crypto people, because they're going to ask when product token go up, and my answer is when people use product. And they say, what product? That's where it is right now. I cannot continue to swim in those waters, man. It is, we're not even speaking the same language anymore. So while I appreciate their passion to get more suckers in, to pump their tokens so that you can dump on them, while I appreciate it, it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with Bell, and it has nothing to do with Sigea Cloud. We are a separate thing that uses blockchain. That's it. Appreciate the question. Bell, go ahead.
All right. So, Channel Dad, I remember when you could drive down that street.
Yeah, no, you can't do that shit anymore. You're going to run over the cowboys. There are a lot of cowboys. These are topless cowboys. And I get up next to them and I'd lift up my pants and you see my boots. And I'd say, lift up your pants. And they're wearing those little ankle boots. I'm like, babe, I'm from Arizona. All right, that ain't boots. Those are what you wear when you go to the other bars, like Blazing Saddles or something like that. I was like, yeah, no. No, you can't drive up and down there. But there are still plenty of hucksters, plenty of scammers. I mean, it's that kind of place. It really is a crypto place. And if crypto was going to ever have any event, it should be down on Fremont Street, because it fits right into you. Get the hype, get the excitement, buy my token, and just get wrecked. So you get the good Vegas feel on Fremont Street, or the good crypto feel on Fremont Street. Belle, I think it's appropriate. Carry on. Please.
I'm a bit upset that the Cowboys on Fremont Street avoided me this time. I wanted to make them cry again. I had new material.
I think it's because Aaron's there. Aaron's a big guy. He is not a small man. And
Aaron's a big guy, but he would not have stopped me from insulting the Cowboys. Yeah, but that's the key.
When you're within one of these, when you are obviously accompanied by one of these big Viking fucks, people just steer clear. They're like, yeah, maybe not these guys. They just, it's not worth it. So.
Like I said, a little disappointing. Maybe we can have Aaron be just a little more discreet next time.
What are you gonna do? Get him to shave? He ain't gonna shave. Make him smaller. He's not gonna be smaller.
No, have him walk instead of right with us, maybe 6-7 feet behind.
No, I
He's
like.
got he's got long legs. He can make it if there's trouble.
No, I like having him there because I'm like tuned up this entire time. There's so much bourbon down there. I'm tuned up and I'm ready to someone to bump into me and say, "You better watch out. My friend Aaron's gonna kick your ass." No, I need him close because feet behind. I'm knocked out by the time he gets there, so we can't have that. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, the doubles on Fremont were not doubles, by the way. I mean
my
that.
God. We frequent a place called Whiskey Liquor Up. You can't miss it. All right, it's right there. It's like in the middle of the place. And you go up there and you order like a double of Buffalo Trace or something like that. And they just give it to you in a plastic cup, a regular plastic cup. But we're holding our fingers up next to this. I swear I posted pictures. If I didn't, I won't. And I'm like, that is like 5 fingers of booze in that little cup for like $16. That's not a double. All right. That is, I don't even know what that is. But yeah, I bought them for the entire team. Of course I did, because I'm just I'm just a nice guy. But that was a lot of booze. I mean, that is a shocking amount of booze, Bill. I'm looking at that going, damn. And you guys know that I indulge on occasion.
So I'm gonna give a quick demonstration of how they do these pours. Don't worry, the bottle's empty. It's fine.
Okay.
So they will take their little measuring glass. They will fill it. They'll dump it while they're continuing to pour, and then they'll fill it again and dump it, and then set the bottle down at the same time
as they continue to pour. You know, the funny thing about that, and there were 3 particular bartenders that we spent a lot of time with. They all are Sigea Cloud users now, because it turns out that even these guys are privacy conscious. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Kind of a weird world. We got anything else, Belle, or can we go ahead and wrap this?
We can go ahead and wrap this.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I might make it I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about Jackal. Maybe I'll talk about AMP. I might make it an AMP stream. You know what? I think I will, just to have some fun with this. We'll make it an AMP stream, and we'll talk about AMP and all the good things it's going to do for Sigea Cloud, because they're so anxious to discuss application of their technology that with us being such a perfect fit, it just seems like this just pops out of a slot. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. We'll have some fun. How about that? Anyway, appreciate you guys joining us tonight. I know we've been away, and I know that our timing is not quite there because we've been away, but we've been doing this a long time. We can usually muddle through most of these things. So anyway, appreciate the comments, appreciate the questions. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Belle. She's going to talk us out. If you need to get a hold of me, I am the Podcast, the PODOCASTS on Sigea Cloud. You can catch us on our Discord. I am at DPodcast on Twitter. If you want to chat, I'm more than happy to. But turn it over to Belle. She's going to talk us up, take us out. Wonderful time, guys. See you next time.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you send our way. Now, with that being said, Scott and I are planning on being live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and then, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott@thepodcast.com or Bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow night.